Awesome, great, glorious day it is. This is the day the Lord has made, and indeed we shall rejoice and be glad in it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another exciting episode of the Umubanga podcast, where we aim to inform, transform, as well as inspire. Our guest today, ladies and gentlemen, is a Zambian Hollywood actor, writer, and producer based in the USA. He's the founder of Freedom Way Entertainment, Think Purpose, Connect, Core the Lion Creative Agency, as well as the originator of the Magnetic Actor Training. He attended the prestigious Stella Adler Academy of Acting for 2 years. He has acted in a number of international television series and films such as Showtime's Cohesion, supporting actor in Tyler Perry's Boo 2 and Madea Halloween on Netflix, opposite Oscar-winning J.K. Simmons in Counterpart on Starz Network and Prime, in CSI Vegas for CBS, in Deputy for Fox, in independent productions including On Company Time, The Incision, City of Dreams, The Perfect Plan, and more. He has also featured in several commercials for Nike, Nordic Track, US Army, Ford Motors, ExxonMobil, Yahoo, and Wayfair. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from the US and on the Umubanga podcast, Zambian born, Zambian bred, Akende Munalula. How are you?
My God. What an intro, man. I'm good. How you doing?
Very well, thanks. Good to see you. Good to have you.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm glad to be here.
Look, this is you. Like, this is what you have done being read to you. How, like, first things first, like, how does that make you feel? Like,
makes me want to jump up and clap. I'm like, this little boy did it.
Yeah.
This little boy.
Do you get inspired and say, I know there's always like that imposter syndrome, and then just that thought that I haven't done much, and there's always that lack of fulfillment and always wanting to do more, and this being read to you, like, yeah.
You know, one of the things that I love, it's actually something I have on my social media, Akende Munalula, at Akende Munalula on Instagram.
Yeah.
It says, love your mountains.
Okay.
So basically it just means, you know, when you reach one mountaintop,
yes,
ask yourself, like, another one. Give me another one. Give me another one.
Yeah.
So when I hear you, you know, talk about the achievements, the places that I've been, I'm just seeing a whole journey. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, where else do we go now? What's next?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Look, the bio says that you're based in the USA, but somebody will be like, Munalula or Akende is like a popular name, especially in the western province of Zambia. Like, walk us through your background and upbringing. Like, yeah.
My mom was Lozi.
Okay.
My biological father, British,
okay,
who I never met. I don't know the dude.
Yeah.
And I grew up with my mom until I was about 6 or 7.
Okay.
Then my stepdad came into the picture. I grew up in Lusaka. I went to Muyoma Primary School in Chilenge. I was the only mixed race boy at my school, which made for a lot of adventures. Yeah. But it was not good for anybody who was running with me to get into trouble with me.
Yeah.
Because all they had to say is they identified me and they'll call the group. So it was a great place to seek identity, try to find out who am I, you know, why am I here? Yeah. And growing up in Woodlands, you know, it was a fun place. It was, you know, really just all the struggles, you know, all the, you know, trying to, you know, the struggle of trying to make it out of, you know, not having money, not having a way out of the struggle, and just dreaming and dreaming and dreaming about where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in that instance, like, being home, because it's two environments.
Right.
You could be at home, you're loved, and then at school, you're picked on. So navigating that and finding yourself and identity, and you mentioned from 0 or from 1 to 6, then you have a father figure as well around. So that dynamic, what's going through, if you can recall, like the 6-year-old Akende, like what's going through as you're growing? And yeah.
6-year-old Akende is crouched down in the yard, playing around with the pebbles in the yard, and he's looking up at planes as they fly across the sky. And he's wondering, where are they going? Can I go with them? Can I escape this feeling that I have that I'm not accepted? And I don't feel like I'm a part of this society that I'm growing up in. So there was that feeling of being the outsider. And I credit that to being the reason why I looked outside. You know, looked outside of Woodlands, looked outside of Lusaka, looked outside of Zambia to try and find a tribe where I felt like I was accepted. But it was all part of the setup. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't like God didn't know what God was doing. You know, God knew exactly what the plan was. He's like, I'm gonna make you feel this way so you can travel. Then I want you to come back. Yeah.
Interesting. So what was your educational journey before you left Zambia?
I went to Muyoma Primary School, did grade 1 to grade 7. I was a good storyteller. And I was so good at just telling stories. I went from there, I went to Kabulonga Boys. Did really good in school, actually. And went to Kabulonga Boys, did really good on the grade 9 exams, and was supposed to go to Hillcrest. Somehow, I didn't go to Hillcrest, ended up going to DK, David Konda. And I spent 3 years there in boarding school.
10 to 12?
10 to 12, yeah. And it was crazy because you can't go to boarding school in your neighborhood. It's impossible to continue, you know what I mean? It's like, I was like, man, how am I supposed to not go home? You know, so every Thursday I would be out of bounds, I'll be going home. Every Monday I'll be digging a ditch. I was a good student up to a certain point when I started to realize that the creative world was more where I wanted to be. But then there was sort of again, a seeking and a looking for a tribe, because around that time, anything creative didn't feel secure enough. You know what I mean? It's like, you could be a lawyer, you could be a doctor, you could be an accountant, but to be a creative, a writer or a musician or actor, it wasn't something that people were looking at and saying, oh, go that way, because we just didn't have anything, you know what I mean? So nobody to blame, but it was just like, that spurred me on again to look more like, where could I go to find that fulfillment?
So your creativity, was it, what sparked that? Was it you being part of plays in school? You like, where did that start from? Or it was just from home, TV and...
Wow, it was a combination of everything you've said, right? It was a combination of that, and I think it was also a combination of what God wanted me to do, really. I think about it, and I think I was meant to communicate the way that God chose for me to communicate, which is, you're going to be a storyteller. How that journey happens for you might seem complicated, but that's part of the story that you're going to tell, because the hero's journey is never simple. You know what I mean? It's not a straight line. So you're going to go through those hurdles and you're going to face these challenges, but I know where I'm taking you and why I'm taking you there. You know, so my creativity, I would say, came from curiosity. Just wondering, like, what's out there? You know, how do you say a thing in a way that hasn't been said before? How do you write a story in a way that hasn't been done before? And I think it was just that seeking I would say I'm a seeker, you know what I mean? Like I'm a curious person by nature. So I think that's where the creativity came from. And the most creative people usually are creative in I don't want to say in a vacuum because that sounds like they're alone, but in isolation, in places where it feels like there is no hope. Yes. You know what I mean? Those boxes where it feels like, man, how am I going to eat today? How am I going to, you know, and creativity can take you the right way or the wrong way. But, you know, thankfully, it took me the right way into seeking answers that were more inclined with what God wanted for me.
So you just leave high school. Did you like go to college before?
I wanted to go to college so much, but we couldn't afford it. Yeah.
So, because the question says that you went and studied, you went to school.
I went to Stella Adler. This is after. So when I left school, when I left David Kaumbe, I found myself wondering things, asking myself questions about going to university, going to UNZA, and at that time, the only thing I could think about doing was going to either Evelyn Hone to look for education in journalism or something to do with the creative writing. When I looked at everything, I started to feel as though none of those places could really give me what I was seeking. I found myself looking through magazines and then starting to look at ads in the magazines. I rewrote so many ads for like Coca-Cola, Barclays Bank, and I had like a whole list of like new ads that I didn't know what I was doing was called copywriting. You know, then my stepdad saw that and he asked me, he said, "You like advertising?" I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Okay, I'm gonna send you over to my friend, you know, go see, he may have a job for you." And I went to see my mentor, Mr. Peter Armstrong, who gave me a task. He said, "Okay, you go and create a campaign for," at the time it was Maximum Condoms, for the youth. And I'm giving you 2 weeks. Let me see what you got when you come back. And I came back with a whole campaign. And he was impressed enough with what I had that he hired me and gave me a job in advertising. So my journey went through leaving high school, self-teaching myself to write copy in advertising, getting into advertising, finding myself writing all these ads and then putting myself into the ads. I was casting myself because sometimes I would have the voice in my mind, but the voice actors that I would bring in sometimes wouldn't capture that.
Even like be like even in front of the camera, like
I did some ads. Yeah, I did an ad for Mosi Lager. That was the first one I did on camera. I did an ad for, I think I might have done something for, I can't remember if it was MTN or something, but I was casting myself in a lot of radio commercials. I was doing a lot of radio voiceovers.
So now coming back, because I guess you had younger siblings. And then here's you right in high school. Future said you either be a lawyer, doctor, and all this.
Pilot. My mom was like, she wanted me to be a pilot so bad, man.
Because one thing in Africa is that one of the things which, like, we go into careers most of the times based off what our parents want us to be.
That's right.
Not what they want us to be, but want it to be.
Yes,
so
yes.
So I'm thinking, like, you going the creative route, I guess, was not like the most popular. Like
it probably wasn't expressed to me directly. I know my mom wanted me to be a pilot, and I think it was just her romantic self, you know, wanting to be a traveler herself. So I think she looked at being a pilot like, man, wouldn't it be great if my son could be a pilot? He's flying planes. You know, probably she thought I could get on the plane, I could fly, you know, with him. When I became involved in copywriting and the fact that there was a job, right? At the end of it, I think that sort of calmed her down. You know,
Yeah.
if it had been just me writing, and maybe she would have said something about it. But the fact that I got a job and started to help with, you know, the family bills and all that, I think that sort of cemented that as, okay, he's good at this.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it was okay for her at that point.
Awesome. So how long did you take in the
Advertising industry?
space?
10 years.
So it's from what year to what year?
1998 to 2008, I worked for Young and Rubicam.
Which is now, I think, Fulcrum. Now.
Fulcrum. You know that, man. Yeah, Fulcrum. Yeah. So Fulcrum, I learned everything that I know about advertising through Fulcrum, through working with Peter Armstrong and just being in that environment, that creative environment. And I credit him for a lot of things. You know, he just basically was like a mentor. And now I can say like a father figure to me, you know, and a friend. And when I spent about 10 years there, I resigned towards the end of that because what happened before that was I went through a personal awakening of some sort that led me to want to leave advertising.
Yeah.
And I started making music. I had an album. My stage name was Conscious. You know,
Look for it. Is it available?
it's still there. Yeah, it's still there. The album was called A Soldier Has Risen, and I was so excited about it.
Who did you have on features?
I featured Cactus, Agony. I featured C4. I featured, who else did I feature? Dodie. I featured Natalie on some hooks. I featured Faith.
Sounds like a hip hop dancer.
It was definitely hip hop, but it was very conscious.
Yeah,
it was like I wanted to
awakening,
I wanted to tell the story of Zambia without the pretense of like, oh, we got guns or we got this. I was like, no, we don't. The only thing that'll kill you out here is poverty or disease.
Malaria.
Exactly. Malaria will get you. So I wanted to tell the true story of that sort of growing up as a kid here and just tell it in a way that was authentic. And so it became a very, very poetic and profound album, if I may say so myself.
Awesome.
I loved it. I love that album. And after that, I felt like, oh man, I don't know if I want to do music anymore. Because I felt it was really a young man's game, especially hip hop, you know. And I was maturing. I was getting into a place where I just didn't feel the hunger for it anymore. And I felt like I needed to pursue something that was still performative, but that I could do late into life, you know. So acting was something that I knew I always wanted to do. I just was stumbling towards it, you know. I was just kind of falling into flight, if you may. And I ended up really sitting down with myself and asking myself, like, what is it you want to do for the rest of your life? And I said, you know what? I want to act. I want to be an actor. I had always been a fan of Robert De Niro, right? And I just put myself into that position where I started asking myself, how could I make it? And so that led to, it didn't happen automatically, right? But I started, you know, I'm a big visualizer. And I believe that when you visualize things and you put those things into action, it'll happen. So I remember I was telling my friends, I was like, man, I'm doing, you know, someone would call me and they're like, what are you doing? And I'll be doing push-ups or I'll be doing sit-ups. And they say, what are you doing? I'll be like, I'm doing my Hollywood workouts. This
To be in shape.
Exactly. This is how I'm going to make it to Hollywood. And I would talk about that. I would talk about being on the red carpet. You know what I mean? I would talk about, I think the reason I even talk about this stuff is because when you come from, let's say you come from a place where money isn't there, it's easy to feel like there's no way out. But one thing I realized early on is just that the imagination is so powerful. You know, it's such a strong, creative endeavor when you use your imagination to visualize, see the path, and it will happen. It did happen for me. So around 2009, I left in 2008. About 2009, 2009, I started my own advertising agency with a friend of mine called Coeur de Lion. Okay. And we ran that agency for about 4 years. It was during that time that I was able to raise enough money to then say, oh my God, I can now leave. Yep. I can go to the US. I can go. There were no acting schools per se here. So I felt I wanted to be trained. Yep. And I looked up Stella Adler, and they accepted me to the school. And I knew I wanted to be in Los Angeles because that's where everybody ends up. I had gone to Canada first. Yeah. And while I was in Canada, I thought I could audition in Canada. And I thought, man, why would I want to play it safe when LA is really where the challenges are? You make it in LA, you've made it everywhere, right? So I just said, I'm going there. And I applied to the school, Stella Adler, that taught Robert De Niro. They taught Marlon Brando. They taught Mark Ruffalo. They taught like so many luminaries in the arts that I just wanted to be a part of it.
So your mind was made up to say, hey, no matter the fees.
No matter the fees.
Because I know, like, in being an international student, first, you're going there as an international student, you need your insurance ready, you need accommodation,
all of it.
Like everything has to be ready. There's nothing like I will work it out itself out.
I tell you, man, I was lucky enough that when I worked, in advertising, I was able to make enough money to pay for the first year of the school. Good. And I remember I was in the US when I applied and they accepted. Yeah. And I had to come back to Zambia to change the visa because I had a visitor's visa and I needed to change it to a student visa. I was like, man, there goes more money. There goes money on the ticket that I don't want to use. Yeah. But I was so determined to just say, whatever it takes, let's do it. Yeah. And so I came back, renewed, and then. So
speaking of the craft, because you're Zambian, you of course put in the work, which starts with the mind, of course, but you go out there. Number one, I guess you pretty much do not know anyone in the industry.
No,
and you have to find your feet there. You have to create connections or friends and how was that journey going into this new place? And I've seen that LA is not, it looks so small on TV, but it's a whole big place. Like pretty much you walk around it and not know anyone.
LA is huge. LA is huge.
Yeah.
Oh man. I was so excited.
Yeah.
To get on the journey of it. I remember walking out of LAX and I was looking up at the sky. There was a helicopter hovering, and I looked up and I think I waved at it or something. Yeah. The kid that was in Zambia looking up at planes is now the kid is the adult who's standing in LA looking up at a helicopter and waving at it, similar to how it was when I was a kid. The excitement was such that I was too, what's the word? There's a thing that can happen in life where you're too innocent to understand what you're facing.
Yep.
It's just like you're so excited for something that the hurdles are not even visible to you. And that's how I felt. I was so excited to be in LA, to be going to this school that I had heard so many great things about, that the hurdles of how do I make it in LA, how do I find people, just did not hit me as well as they would have if I had thought about it. Yeah. I was just like super excited. And I remember the first time I went to class, I was staying in a motel for the first weekend. I went to class. Another student told me about sort of like a building that was sort of like a hostel. And that's where he was staying. And he was like, I got this studio, like a one-room apartment. And I was like, man, could you put me in touch with the manager and all that? And I got the place. And lucky enough, I had enough to pay for it. And I just moved in. I had nothing. It was just like empty on the floor.
What age was that?
I'm 36 at that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now in acting terms, when
I'm the oldest dude in the class. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not. They're like 20-year-olds whose parents have paid for them. Some are from France, Germany, because we were all international students. So I'm the oldest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm the most serious. I'm like taking notes, and I'm like, man, because I thought about the fact that I hadn't gone to do I didn't further my education here in Zambia, you know what I mean? Like I didn't go to college, so for me it was like, this is makeup for it. This going to this acting school, this is now my learning, this is my school. Within that, so it was a 2-year course, right? Conservatory. But I was so focused and I was so present and I was always at the school that when the second year came around, they offered me a scholarship.
Awesome.
So that answers that question about money. When you work hard and you show up, you know what I mean? People they pay attention. You know, they see you. Yeah.
You coming and actually you've been coming to Zambia like so many times after your acting school and appearances, which we'll talk about. Do you see that hunger in most of the Zambian actors and actresses around?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what do you, with your exposure now and the fact that you went to a prestigious school to even learn, like what do you think then will be like the next push to make sure that the artistry is taken to the next level?
The only difference between me and anybody that is in Zambia that's really hungry to be an actor, to be in this industry, is just knowledge. It's just training. You know what I mean? I'm not the most talented person in the room. I'm not the most, like the greatest actor in the room or anything. I'm just a guy who, lucky enough, followed a path that gave him structure. You know what I mean? And I found myself in an industry, in a place that the industry was built, the infrastructure was already there. Every actor in Zambia that's working really hard, trying to make it, trying to be a star, and there's so many of them that should be stars, right? The only thing that's been lacking is the infrastructure. You know what I mean? You got to have the world for the actors to play in. And I see the hunger. I can see it. That, everybody wants to do it. They have the love for it. So I think that what I see isn't a lack of talent at all. It's just a lack of showing this is what we need. This is how it's done. And let's build the infrastructure. And I'll tell you, man, like there's some actors in this country that will just blow you away. You know what I mean? I don't know if you know Pakeni.
Yes,
you ever remember Pakeni?
Yes.
Like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Like when he does voices or like when he mimics people, you know that, right? Amazing, right? There is no shortage of talent in this country.
I know the other one prominent is, what's his name? Kangwa Chileshe, who's now
amazing actor too. You know what I mean? The two of them in Kabanana.
yes.
Killing it.
You
know what I'm saying? But these were times when you have these two OGs of acting, you know what I mean? If we put it that way. They're making it in a world that doesn't have structure. You know what I'm saying? And they're doing, Mr. Lawrence Thompson, he's creating Kabanana, and they are building something where it doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't yet exist, but they're working and they're making it happen. Zambia needs to give itself a huge pat on the back.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think the past, 10 years, like there's been like a massive rise. And I think part of that has been, I think the coming in of Zambezi Magic. I think that like pushed TV and just acting. And so because I think most of the decisions we make are based off survival.
I was just about to say that, right?
Yeah.
You go from, okay, this is just some creative hobby,
Yes.
right? Which is what everybody was calling anything creative back then.
Yeah.
You know, this hobby of yours, to now saying, oh, wait, so I can make money off this, so I can feed my family, so I can take my kids to school. And that's really what it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's just once you find out that you can make a living off of it, it's a job. You know, and that's the way it should be treated, like a job. I go to work. I call myself a working actor because every time I get up, whether I go to the gym, I'm working. Because in the gym, I'm working on the body that gets me the parts. You know what I mean? They say, oh, we're looking for someone athletic. I'm like, over here, you know? So
The process of acting. I think there's a movie 50 Cent did where was it? I can't remember. When Things Fall Apart or something? Like where he like lost the weight and...
I haven't seen that. Have you seen that?
Yes.
What did you think?
It was interesting.
Really?
Like that. It's just the process of acting, because even things like Joaquin Phoenix, like losing the weight, like
So there's several ways that you get into character, right? There's the outside in approach. What that means is you start from the outside. So you start with the body, you start with the physicality, you start with the shoes, you start with the clothes, you start with the just outside the characters outside. Then there's the inner work, which is where you start to figure out like what drives this person, what makes this person tick, what thoughts do they have, and that's the inner life. You know what I'm saying? So with a process like that, when someone like 50 Cent or Joaquin Phoenix, they go through that process. Imagine you're already rich, you're wealthy. Imagine you're waking up every day, you can have bacon and sausage and eggs and everything, and then you decide, I want to play this part where I lose 50 pounds. That's work.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, that is work. So when 50 Cent does that, I look at that and I'm like, dedication.
Yep.
When Joaquin Phoenix does that, I look at that and I say, dedication. Because the craft is what opens all the doors,
Because of that transition where you have to be in a certain mindset. I was looking at some of your different show reels.
Oh, you checked me out?
Yes.
Check me out.
And actually, so you get a scholarship. I guess the scholarship as well then says that, oh, this person is dedicated.
Yep.
Like this person should be now included in some of the things.
Yep.
Which one was your first break?
The first break was, so there's a thing called the Screen Actors Guild, which is SAG. We call it SAG. It's the union for actors. To get into the union, you do a bunch of student productions or anything independent productions that are, first, they have to be registered with SAG.
Yeah.
And that's how you get into, you become eligible to become SAG. The first thing that I did where I said to myself, I'm now working as an actor. I'm now working as a professional actor, was Counterpart, when I did Counterpart with J.K. Simmons. And let me tell you this story because this is, again, the power of imagination. I'll take you back to me being at school, Stella Adler. So J.K. Simmons is pretty amazing as an actor. And there's a place called the Egyptian Theater.
Okay.
And they want to honor him. And one of the organizers is a teacher at my school. And he says, I want to get a bunch of my students to come and perform in front of J.K. Simmons as part of this ceremony where we're going to honor him. And he said, Akende, I want you to be a part of it. Another person. And at the time, I had a friend, and I said to my friend, man, I can't wait to work with J.K. Simmons. I want to meet J.K. Simmons. I'm going to make sure that when we do this performance, any chance that I can, I want to meet him. I want to shake his hands. And my friend said to me, literally, these were the words, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are?
Yep.
And you know what I said? And this is where being Zambian comes back.
Yeah.
When you're Zambian, there's a thing that you have that you carry with you in the world that it's almost like there is nothing that you cannot imagine doing that a lot of people have actually struggled with.
Yep.
So when I said that, and my friend said, who the hell do you think you are? I actually laughed because I said, you don't know me. You don't know where I'm from, right? We did the event. I didn't get to meet J.K. Simmons because he was ushered in and he was ushered out.
But he did see you perform.
He saw me perform. And later, I graduate from school and I auditioned. The first audition I get is for a show that J.K. Simmons is the lead of. I end up booking the part. I end up being called to set. I end up working with J.K. Simmons. And I told my friend, I said, oh, hey, you remember I said I was going to meet J.K. Simmons? Well, guess what? Not only am I meeting J.K. Simmons, I'm actually working with the dude. You know, so that's the power of imagination again, you know, and just the power of believing in, you know, the impossible. It's like, man, you know, there's nothing here, but I can see something here.
So, like, what's the mindset? Power of imagination, it's happened. And now you're meeting with an award winning, like somebody
Oscar winning, right?
Super successful. Like, this is, he's number one on the call sheet. So.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That is a moment to just soak it all in.
Yep.
Soak it up, because I'm not yet even close to his level as far as craft.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, I do my scenes and I think they go well, and you know, the director is happy. And then there's what they call Video Village, where you can go watch on the screen what the other actors are doing. So I said, please, can I go to Video Village? They gave me headphones, of course. And I'm sitting there and I got my notepad, right? And I'm watching and I'm learning. I'm like, I got to learn from this master of the craft. And this dude is literally having a conversation. He's not acting. He's having a conversation with the other character. They're just talking. Like we're having a conversation.
Yeah.
No acting. I was like, oh, so that's what it's about. You become such a master at your craft that you get out of the way and just let the character speak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. How do you then deal with the imposter syndrome?
Of like, I can't, I'm not good enough from that.
Like, I don't belong here.
Ooh, man, I don't know if that ever goes away. You know what I mean? And I think that's what drives you to be better. You know what I mean? Like feeling like, man, am I good enough? Am I? And you can go either way, you know what I mean? You can quit, or you can keep trying, or you can keep working, you can keep on working. And I worked, you know, I could hear my voice, I could hear myself speaking as a character, and I was like, man, I just sound like I'm acting. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't even sound real. I don't think I believe me, you know? But it became a thing of saying, let me keep on looking. What is it that makes it happen? What is it that makes it? Because it's not, oh, I'm going to talk like this or I'm going to talk like that. There's a truth to it. And it's finding that truth, right? That then you become that person. Then you think like that person. Then you can talk like that person. And it's just when you feel that sort of like, man, am I good enough? That's you saying, let's go further. Let's do more. Let's train harder. Let's practice and practice and practice. I mean, I was there like with J.K. Simmons, working with J.K. Simmons. Mind you, he had a career before I even imagined acting. You know what I mean? Like, these are people that have been doing it for years up to that point. And I just got out of school. So, of course, I'm nervous. So, of course, I don't feel like I'm amazing. You know what I mean? I'm working with masters. That's why he's a master, you know what I mean? So, it's practice, 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 practice. You continue to do it. You continue to pursue it. You continue to ask the questions. And you just go deeper and deeper.
And like, these are some of the things which, like, I guess even like somebody like growing up in Zambia, like these are dreams like which are like far-fetched, like me. And the other break, well, I don't know about you, but then, you know, and we seeing you with Tyler Perry, like in one shot together, like
you can go to the bathroom, come back, I'm still in the shot.
Like, yeah, like how does that come about? Like,
preparation, meeting opportunity. That's all. Preparation, meeting opportunity. I'm in my car. I'm driving through LA. My manager calls me up and he says, hey, you have an audition. It's in 2 hours. Wow. You don't have time to study the text, to learn the scene so much. But because I've been working on scenes in my spare time, you know, I'm constantly looking at scripts. I'm constantly working out what's this character doing? Yeah. What do they want? What's their journey here? By the time I'm getting that audition for the Tyler Perry movie, which I don't know at this point is a Tyler Perry movie, and I'm just told by my manager, hey, you got to go to this casting office audition. It's in 2 hours. Okay, send me this, what we call the sides, part of the script. I get that. I look at it. I figure it out as I'm going there. I enter the room scared because I'm not sure if I've spent enough time on it, right? So the nerves are there. And I go in the audition and I just give it all. I do what I believe is going on in the scene. The casting director says, let's do that again. She sees something that she likes about what I'm doing. She goes, clean it up, because some words I'm missing, I'm jumbling up, because I haven't had time to memorize. She says, clean it up. We clean it up. We do it. I go home. I leave that audition not knowing what's going to happen. I just go home. 2 days later, I get a phone call from my manager. And he says, where are you? I said, I'm sitting down, I'm watching. He said, go outside. I go outside and he says, scream. I go, why? He says, who's the greatest manager in the world? I said, you are. Okay. He says, scream. I was like, wow, you're the greatest manager in the world. Yeah. He says, you're going to Atlanta. You're going to film with Tyler Perry. Bro, I mean, it's like, is this happening? Yeah. You know what I mean? Suddenly, like, the sky changes color. The temperature suddenly cools down. You suddenly feel like, oh, I'm working. Yeah. You know what I mean? This is happening. This dream is not just going to be a dream. It's actually going to be a reality. So I'm working.
So does that as well now transition financially now in a better place?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know, that's why my manager is like, yo, who's the great? Because he's getting paid. You know what I mean? We're both getting paid. So, yeah, he's happy. I'm happy, you know. And for me, it's a step. For me, it's, oh, I'm working. You know, I'm going to have, you know, we call them credits because when you have credits on your resume, it shows what you've done. It actually puts you in a position to get more jobs. Yeah. You want to reach a place where they just call you at the end of the day. You don't have to audition. You know what I mean? Hey, Akende, we need you, buddy. Yeah. You know, that's the goal. So at this point, it's just like, oh, another one, you know? So that's a feeling that has to be captured, put in a bottle, you know? And again, this goes back to gratitude. I write everything down. You know, the audition that I had, I went home, I wrote down what went right. You know, where did I feel like I wasn't in it? You know, I write it down because I'm a student of the game, you know what I mean? So this is what I mean about training and craft and all that. By the time the part comes to me, I'm ready. And I'm writing it down with gratitude. Thank you, God. Thank you for this. I take a piece of paper, I put it in a jar, I close it, and I go.
Have you done any like Zambian?
Not since I left. Okay. Before I left, I did a short film with Inzi. You remember Inzi?
Yes.
Gregoire, the two French guys, Gregoire and Julien. Mm-hmm. We shot something really quickly, and that's when I knew it was something called Mr. Magoo.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Magoo was like these guys who are so hungry. They go out looking for food. They live together. They are hustlers.
Yeah.
They go out looking for food, and then they come back one day and they don't have food. And then one of them has a pet rat, and the rat's name is Mr. Magoo. And they decide, we got to make a choice here. We got to eat the rat. And so it's like these guys are like debating on it. Mm-hmm. Should they eat the rat or not? Yeah. I did that. I did a commercial for Zamtel when Zamtel was rebranding. I became the face for that. Okay. I auditioned for that one and I got it, and that was about it.
So, are you looking forward to doing work here in Zambia?
Yeah.
Or maybe yesterday's price is not today's price. That's what Joe says. So.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to actually creating things here.
Yeah.
With aligned people.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to things about money and all that, that's something that we can discuss,
Yeah.
But I am looking forward to being a part of the energy that's thriving, the energy that just needs to be channeled in the right way. Yeah.
So which Zambian productions have you seen this was well put together?
Well, firstly, I Am Not a Witch.
Yeah, Rungano Nyoni. That was what, 2017?
I think so.
Yeah.
I went and saw that movie, premiered in LA.
Yeah.
I went and saw it. I was like blown away. Just amazing, amazing artist she is. I know that Mr. Thompson did a movie called When They See Us.
Yes.
Or Can They See Us?
Yes.
And that was nicely done.
Yeah. I think it's still on Netflix, yeah?
It's still on Netflix, yeah? Mm-hmm. That was nicely done. There was Black Dollar.
Yes.
So everything's been going in the right direction, you know what I mean? Like we're getting there.
Yeah.
Actually, we are there. Now we just got to claim it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can, again, talking about imposter syndromes, you can spend so long thinking, oh, we got to get ready. Oh, we got to get ready. No, we're ready. Now is the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're ready. We're here.
I think in this whole conversation you've spoken on God, power of the imagination, and walk us through your journey, finding Jesus. Because one of the things which is there, and I think part of the reservations most of us, say in Africa, have with the creative space or acting, is the many videos we've watched of Satanism, Illuminati. And another aspect which most people don't notice, and I think you spoke about it sometimes, I think we are alone as artists, and the fact that we are alone as artists is that we overthink things.
Oh yeah, it's isolation, right? Yeah.
Sometimes kicks in because things are not working out, and the fact that you continuously mention that God was at the center of everything. Like, walk us through just that journey of you being grounded. Yeah.
My relationship with God and Jesus is such that I look at it as a purpose to be the light in any industry that I find myself in. to be the light that is required in that industry.
Yeah.
So when we talk about, the creative industry, acting or music or anything, when people talk about, oh, this, there's this, there's that, I just look at it like, then we should be in it. Us who are of that light should be in those dark places. We shouldn't, you cannot, light up the dark if you don't show up in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you go in there and you spread your light and it changes, So I see it as purpose.
Yeah.
I see it as a calling. I know God has got a plan for why I'm even an actor, So yeah, that is, it's vigilance, right? And Jesus walked into every room, man. Like he might have been, if he was around, he might have just said, I'm going to do this acting thing, and heal some people through it. You know what I mean? So I know that we were called to show up. Yeah.
So in moments of being low, transitioning the different phases, because it's not always that you have big breaks.
It's not always that you have big breaks.
And you get to that place where you have this huge break, and the next 2-3 years, it's quiet.
The famine. The
Yes.
famine days.
The slim cows have eaten the fat cows. So.
You had the T-bone steak.
That navigation where it's quiet and things feel like they're not moving. How did you navigate that?
Oh man, it's tough though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's tough, man. It's one of those times where you start to feel like it's over. Like this is it over? You know what I mean? Did I have my chance and now it's done? I've had those moments where that thought crosses my mind, you know what I mean? But then I'm reminded of what has come before, the evidence of favor, the proof. And once, like when we started, when you were introducing me, Akende in coercion, I'm like, wow, I did that, right? And so it becomes now a case of, do you trust the journey? Do you trust the process? Are you only an actor when it's happening? Are you quitting when it's not? And so for me, it reached a place where even though I could see the desert, I said, I'm not going to quit in the desert. I'm not going to quit here. You know what I mean? I'm going to walk through this desert and I'm going to get to the oasis. And if I want to quit, I'll quit at the oasis. And I will remind myself that God has already shown me, I've given you a gift for this. You are meant to do this. What you're witnessing now is simply character building. I'm building you up for what's even bigger to come. So I look at that and I say, okay, steady yourself, Akende, because what's about to come is going to blow your mind. You know what I mean? So.
Speaking of creating, number one, streaming is on a high. And you mentioned the fact that in order for you to be recognized, you need to have time. Like,
you have to show up.
Yes, you have to show up. And there actually has to be work. And now I think majority of the African space is taken up by skit comedy. So where people are just like shooting on their phone and all that. But in your take and the fact that you have all these different agencies, teaching acting, helping people find their ways around the industry, how should we Zambians, Africans take up the global streaming stage, and especially to just push, because it's shown that it's making a lot of money. So if I have like a good movie, I put it out on YouTube, at least
you'll get money.
But it's low budget, so
Yeah.
long as the story was proper, like you get some money back. So yeah.
There's a lot that we need to make sure we create infrastructure for. One of those things is streaming. It's here. It's been here for as long as we remember. Netflix being, sort of the pioneer, and we can either play into the streaming, or we can create the platforms.
Yep.
And I'm more interested in creating the platforms, to be honest with you. I am no longer just interested in projects like I want to be an actor in that or that. I want to create the platform that then holds the streams.
Yep.
Because we have to start owning our things. We have to start owning, if we're putting a movie on YouTube, YouTube earns, pays you, but YouTube makes more money than you. So we got to create the, Freedom Way Entertainment. Freedom Plus is a streaming, part of Freedom Way Entertainment. So at some point you'll be able to have Freedom Plus on your TV.
Awesome.
That's by Zambians, for Zambians. All the things that are Zambian can be streamed on Freedom Plus.
Yeah.
And anything else that wants to be streamed on Freedom Plus.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Okay. I think this whole time, like, we haven't like touched on. I think we've dealt so much on your work, but walk us through you being a father and.
Oh man,
you're
gonna make me cry.
And reasons why I ask is that when we started, I think you talked about, number one, growing up without a father, till when you were 6.
Yeah.
And you now being a father, how does that? First things first, like, what was the first thought of you being
a dad?
Yes.
Oh my God, it was. Oh my God, it was like seeing when I saw my daughter for the first time. It was almost like, oh man, it's like you can't describe the feeling.
Yeah.
When you're a first time parent, and it was like holding this precious gift in my hands and realizing that this is everything.
Yeah.
This little person in my hands is the culmination of this life, and I am scared to mess this up.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do everything to make sure that I'm the best dad, and I am available and I am known, especially not knowing my own father.
Yeah.
I had made a promise to myself. I said, no matter what happens between me and any of my kids' mom, I will make sure my kids see my face, because I don't even know my father's face or his voice, so my kids would know my face, they would know my voice. So that was the first thing when I'm holding my baby. I'm like, I want to make sure she sees this face, she hears this voice for the rest of her life. It's an awakening.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You wake up to like, the world has changed. It's a totally different world now.
Yeah. So were you in I guess, speaking of fear, like, because my daughter is what? She'll be 6 months in a few days.
Yeah. So congratulations, new dad.
Thank you.
Is this your first?
Yes, first.
My goodness. Oh my goodness.
So like every day, sometimes when I look at her, I'm like, okay, number one, you're helpless, and then number two is that this is like a plain piece of paper,
Yeah.
and I am the one to write like put values, like
Yes.
speak Jesus in her life.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, like so all those fears, like, and the fear to fail, and as well the fact that we're still in this journey and constantly evolving and trying to find ourselves, like, and as well the fear of in case I mess up or
Because you don't know. This is your first
Yeah,
time too,
yeah.
right? Like this is your first time being a dad.
Yeah.
You know, it's your first time doing it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like it's a job that you went and trained for. You know what I mean? It's like now I gotta learn how to be a father.
And I guess another thing which and actually I wanted to speak of this, like who are some of the people who greatly helped you and shaped you to be the man you are now?
Wow, so many people.
Yeah.
So many people. My mom, first of all.
Yeah.
My mom, man, like she instilled in myself and my brothers. I have 3 brothers, 1 older, 2 younger.
Yeah.
And she instilled in us values that have carried me through life. Respect
Yeah.
for yourself, your elders, your other fellow human beings. Empathy,
Yeah.
you know, just being able to relate to someone when they're going through hard times. Thirdly, just the trust and the faith in God. So she was the blueprint. Then my stepdad coming into my life
Yeah.
and giving me this sort of base of just books. You know, he brought so many books into my life.
Yeah.
I became such a voracious reader that I consumed so many books, and that fed the imagination.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was like reading, and I could see things. So very formative in that sense. And growing up like in Woodlands Extension, and you know, running around in Chilenge and running around in Umubanga and all these places, you run into older brother figures.
Yeah.
You know, just guys who care about you. They're like, no, don't go that way, go this way. You're going to get in trouble if you go that way. Don't do that, do this. You know, and at the time, it's like you don't have a blueprint. You don't have, you know, you don't have like a biological father who's like holding your hand and taking you through the streets. Yeah. So you just sort of like, some of it is like you fail and you learn, you know what I mean? And some of it is your teachers. Some of it is the people that just are looking out for you. Yeah. And I think I look at my mom as the OG who made sure that the neighborhood knew to say, those are my kids, don't touch them. Because the other thing of being mixed race was that, you know, it was sort of assumed that coloreds, right, like to fight. You know what I mean?
Short-tempered.
Like short-tempered, and they want to beat somebody up.
These hands,
you know, the hands and everything. So it was always somebody wants to test you.
Oh, did you as well like have that thing where you're supposed to be a mechanic?
No, no, but I know what you're talking about. Oh man, no.
Or a love of cars.
No, not that there's anything wrong with being a mechanic, but cars was not. It was. I've never been like a big car dude, you know.
Yeah, because it's a stereotype thing.
Yeah, I know, and there's some great mechanics out there who can build a car.
Yeah.
No, for me it was just like people wanted to test the hands. You know, and it was like, okay.
And were they getting them?
Oh, they were getting them. Oh, they were getting some hands.
Yeah.
And I got some hands too, you know what I mean? So it was like win and lose, win and lose.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like that teaches you to be a man.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't recommend it for everybody, you know what I mean? Because it's a tough life. But you learn how to handle yourself in the streets, you know? You learn like, okay, this is, you know, I can't just say a word to somebody and not expect them to react. You know, so I better be ready if they, you know, and they better be ready if they say something to me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, look, even as we're closing, this last question which I have, it says, if your life were a movie, what would this current chapter be called?
Oh, that's a great question, man.
Yeah.
This chapter would be called Showing Up. total, unapologetic, solid, knows who he is. This is a character who's gone from who am I, could I be this, could I be this, could I be that, to this is me now. Yeah. The movie would be called This Is Me Now.
Sounds like Michael Jackson.
This is me now. Is that the title of the Michael Jackson movie?
Well, this new one is Michael. I know they're trying to do like This Is It, the time.
Oh, This Is It. Yeah.
So I know this one is called Michael.
Yeah. This is it. This is me now. Yeah.
Awesome. Any last words to Zambian actor or producer or soon to be director?
Where's the camera? That's my camera?
Yes.
Yo, my name is Akende. And what I want to say to you is believe. Visualize it. No matter where you're at, you may not have all the privileges in life. You may have grown up no access to the things that normally are associated with success. Believe it, see it, and continue to strive towards it. It's not going to be handed to you. You got to go for it. And just know that you have everything it takes. God has got your back, man.
Awesome. Thank you.
You got it.
Quick one.
Yeah.
So, is your accent accepted in America or they consider it African?
My accent, I think, confuses people in America now. They're like, because I'll say I'm from Zambia, they're like, well, like, why do you sound like you're from here a little bit? Then I'll be like, you hear it. You hold on a second. It's going to come through.
Yeah.
Then they'll hear, like, I'll say a word, it sort of like doesn't sound like.
So now you just like say water.
Can I have some water, please?
Not
You
water.
know, yeah. But I don't want to lose my. I think growing up in Lusaka, it's not as deep as when you grow up like, you know, I'm from the Western Province or I'm from, you know, the Southern Province. You know, my name is Akende Munalula. You know what I mean? Like there's a deeper sort of resonance and an accent. But growing up in Lusaka, you sort of like, it's almost like you're already sort of like creating your own accent in Lusaka. You know what I mean? So it's rarely that you grow up in Lusaka and you have a typical localized accent. You know, for example, like when you go to the villages, you know when somebody speaks, you're like, oh, that's Niwa Nyanja, Niwa Bemba, Niwa Tonga, Niwa Loz. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Awesome. All right. This has been a great conversation, and
It really has, man.
Great honor to just be able to talk to you. I know you have like a new crop of subscribers on your.
I love it. I love it. Can I plug it?
Sure.
At Akende Munalula. At Akende Munalula on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So.
Yo.
Yeah.
You're the man.
So, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you've been informed, transformed, as well as inspired. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, and follow Akende on all his platforms. So from me, Dennis Movanga Kabwe, we say bye-bye.